Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhondial. You're watching the Urban Debate here on Mirror Now. Ladies and gentlemen, a political controversy has erupted in Tamil Nadu over a question that goes straight to the heart of women's rights. Who gets to decide whether a woman should continue a pregnancy? That controversy, ladies and gentlemen, began after Tamil Nadu Assembly Speaker JCD Prabhakar attended an anti-abortion rally in Chennai and publicly endorsed the belief that life begins at conception. The event was organized by the Archdiocese of Madras, Mylapore, with thousands attending and slogans including "Abortion is murder" being raised. Now, the Catholic community's procession also saw chants of "No right to abortion" and "Abortion is murder." Over 5,000 people attended the event, and the gathering was held around August 10th, the very date on which India enacted its abortion laws, the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971. Do remember that India's abortion law is one of the most progressive in the world and gives complete choice to women to carry the fetus or not. Therefore, when the Speaker of a state, a man who holds a constitutional post, advocates something that is against Indian law, there is bound to be outrage, and there it is. In this case, Mr. JCD Prabhakar did not merely attend the rally. He spoke about the dignity of the unborn life, saying that life has value even before a child enters the world. His comments have now triggered the larger debate. Can a constitutional functionary publicly endorse a religiously rooted position on an issue where Indian law recognizes specific abortion rights? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the question that is being asked this evening.
Every unborn child has dignity என்ற நம்பிக்கையை வெளிப்படுத்தும் ஒரு நிகழ்வாக இதை நான் கருதுகின்றேன். அந்த காலத்தில் நாங்கள் நிறைய சினிமா பார்ப்போம், படிக்கிற காலத்தில் புரட்சி தலைவர் எம்ஜிஆர் படம் நிறைய பார்ப்போம். எல்லா குழந்தைகள் இறைவனால் தரப்படுகிற ஒரு அருள்கொடை. அந்த புனிதமான அருள்கொடையை தடுப்பதற்குரிய அந்த எண்ணமோ உணர்வோ நம்பிக்கையோ வலியுறுத்தலோ இந்த திக்கிலும் வந்துவிடக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக நான் சொல்கிறேன்.
Now, the BJP is asking a far more explosive question. Would the political reaction have been the same if this was a Hindu religious rally? The BJP says the speaker's participation in an anti-abortion procession where slogans like "Abortion is murder" were raised crosses the line from personal faith into public endorsement. And the BJP is also alleging that political parties who are quick to attack Hindu religious assertions stay silent when similar views come from a Christian platform. The BJP's direct charge is that this is anti-women and this is pseudo-secularism. The DMK, however, is trying to shut down the political storm. Party leader TKS Ilangovan says abortion is not a political issue and that the decision must rest with the doctor and the patients. He's also taking a swipe at the Vijay government, asking why issues like Kaveri are not getting the same attention as abortion.
It is not a political issue. It is a medical issue. Doctors has to decide on that. This government has no other thing to talk. They are not talking about Kaveri. They are talking about all these things.
But the TVK government's response has been more cautious. Tamil Nadu's Health Minister KG Arun Raj has sought to separate the speaker's personal views from the state's position on abortion. He has stressed that abortion is regulated under the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act and can, in medical circumstances, be a necessary procedure. Now, ladies and gentlemen, India's abortion law dates back to 1971, when Parliament enacted the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. The MTP created a legal framework for terminating pregnancies through registered medical practitioners and under specific conditions. The basic limit of 20 weeks remained for abortions permitted under the Act, with the opinion of one registered medical practitioner. For specified categories of women, termination was permitted up to 24 weeks with the opinion of two registered medical practitioners. The amendments also removed the distinction between married and unmarried women in relevant provisions. The Supreme Court, too, has recognized reproductive autonomy as a fundamental aspect of personal liberty under Article 21. The court has also recognized bodily autonomy, dignity, and privacy in decisions relating to pregnancy. In 2022, X versus Principal Secretary case, the Supreme Court reinforced this position and held that unmarried women cannot be excluded from the NTP framework simply because of their marital status. The court made it clear that reproductive choice is constitutionally protected, subject to the limits and safeguards prescribed by abortion laws. And therefore, the question, what is the Speaker exactly trying to do here? He may be a Christian, he may hold some beliefs, but can those beliefs trump what is India's law? Mr. S. Muralidharan is a political analyst joining us on the broadcast. Kasturi Shankar is leader of the BJP. She's also an actor with us on the show. Mr. Pullarao is a political analyst. Bindu Dubey is an advocate of the Supreme Court, all joining us on the broadcast. The TVK, ladies and gentlemen, was sent an invite to be part of this show. They declined that invite. Mr. Muralidharan, is there any reason why the Chief Minister of the state should not ask the Speaker to step down? Because essentially what the Speaker is advocating is something that is not just against women's rights, it is also against what Indian law says. And the Speaker, as you know, holds a constitutional position.
Yeah, the Indian law, according to Article 25 and 26, also gives you the liberty to, profess your faith in a way, in manner it's required. Now, Mr. JCD Prabhakar might use a constitutional post, but when he went for that protest or where he participated, he did not carry the TVK flag or he did not carry the TVK symbol there. He went there, he was part of the Catholic Church, so he went and joined the protest, which his religious faith believes so. So this, I mean, you can't equate this to, something which is absurdly anti-constitutional and claim whatever he's doing is not right. That's his faith, he's professing it. As far as he doesn't mix that up with his functions or his work profile, it's okay. He also said that when he started his tenure as a speaker, he did, utter a few words from the Bible. But that doesn't make him somebody just following a faith doesn't make him insecular or anti-constitutional. He has his faith which to follow, and he's going according to that. And he
Mr.
might have a liking or
Mr. Muralidharan, faith is personal,
yes.
right? Faith is personal, especially if you hold a constitutional office. Now, let me flip the situation and ask you this.
Yes.
If the Prime Minister of this country goes to a rally, he goes to a protest or a rally and says, India must be a Hindu Rashtra, will you give the same argument? That he went there in his personal capacity, he is not holding the flag of the BJP, he is not wearing the lotus or carrying the lotus. This he went in his personal capacity to the protest and endorsed the idea of a Hindu Rashtra. Would you be as forgiving?
No, I don't think so. So you're equating two different things. Hindu Rashtra is different. It's against the Constitution, right? It's against the Constitution. Okay.
Saying that abortion is murder is also against the Constitution because the law is clear. The law gives women the right to terminate their pregnancies. So you are saying that women, I mean, he was essentially trying to say that women who terminate pregnancies are murderers.
Yeah, but then we can expand the argument. Say all these people who are trying to do Gauraksha, that's also anti-constitution and anti-law, right? I mean, people can eat whatever they want. People can eat beef in this country. Nobody, bars them from eating beef. But there are people, fringe elements, who go and stop that, etc. And in fact, they beat up people. They also kill people.
Fringe elements. Fringe elements who kill people in the name of Gaurakshaks are criminals. They are goons, they are murderers, they should be behind bars.
Yes, exactly. Here he's not killed anyone. He is not. He's only just been part of one ideology which somebody is propagating. So I don't think it's anything wrong in that. I don't think he has done a huge crime that he should be taken to task. Yes, what he said is wrong according to the law because the law permits you to do it. But there are so many people that nobody says you can't criticize the law, or nobody says that you should not propagate something which is, because any change for that matter, even in the constitutional law, if some change has to come, It's people's, only people like him or people who dissent against those laws, the constitution, will bring change tomorrow. And if at all anything has to be changed, it's only because of the protest and people's, outrage which changes things. So there's nothing wrong in it.
Okay, Kasturi Shankar, respond to that. The argument is that the speaker was not there in his capacity as a speaker. He was there in his capacity as a Catholic. And the Catholics do believe that human life begins at conception, and they absolutely and directly oppose abortion. So this is the man's faith. This is what he believes in.
Okay. All right. I have several questions. I am not surprised with the stance that Mr. Muralidharan has taken. Number one, I first have to equivocally, and this is not coming as a BJP party member, this is not coming as an actor, Shreya, I would very much request you to introduce me, at least in my title card, as a woman and as a female rights activist, because this is our life, these are our lived experiences, and to frankly hear opinions from men who don't even know the beginning, the start and the end of it, itself is very difficult. To hear mansplaining about our bodies and about the struggles that we face when we have to decide about two lives, the mother's life and the child's life. It's not something a man can even fathom. So I unequivocally condemn the sympathetic gesture that the Speaker of Tamil Nadu, Mr. JCD Prabhakar, gave yesterday. It sends the absolute wrong message in a state where only recently we have actually started seeing declining numbers in female infanticide in pockets. We are talking about a progress in female emancipation in Tamil Nadu only after Purushi Thalvi Jayalalitha's tenure took major steps to stop the menace of female infanticide. So let's not even get into what is life and when it starts. Number one, first question, Mr. Muralidharan said he was there as a single person, as himself. I asked him, was it inside a church? Was it a church meeting? Was it behind doors? It was a public rally asking the people of Tamil Nadu to heed to a cry of banning abortion. It was an anti-abortion rally. That's a public event. When a lawmaker, when a constitutional authority attends such a public event, it will be construed as endorsing that point of view, and not just that.
Kasturi, he has endorsed that point of view. He was not just there, he spoke at the rally as well. We heard him there.
Exactly.
So he's not just endorsed it by going there, he's endorsed it by speaking about it as well.
And there were no disclaimers. Not once did he say, I am not here as the Speaker of Tamil Nadu Assembly. I am here as a person in my personal private capacity. No, he didn't say that. Where was his wife? Where were the women from his family? Why are men trying to tell women what to do with their own bodies? Number one. Number two, had this been Mr. Muralidharan, who seems to think of personal space versus political public space very clearly, I have a direct question to ask him. Let's say it's a vegetarian rally where a lot of vegetarians get together and tell the entire people of Tamil Nadu, you shouldn't eat meat. Because, you know, we vegetarians believe everything is murder. You shouldn't murder animals for eating. Okay? And you say that, and the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu attends that rally. Will Mr. Muralidharan say the same thing? Will he have the same attitude towards that? He will jump up and down. If a BJP member, if a BJP leader takes part in anything even valid, Mr. Muralidharan will have a problem. I mean, this is not about Muralidharan. It's about the double game, the double standards by which we actually measure people and their stances. But as a Shreya, as a woman, I'm Horrified.
Mr. Muralidharan,
I'm
essentially the
horrified
charge
by
against the
that rally
speaker is
yesterday.
that he is downright communal and his government is doing absolutely nothing to tell him that what he did was communal.
He is carrying his cross on his sleeve.
Shreya, let me explain this to you.
People
You know,
will say, you carry your heart on your
if at all,
sleeve.
if at all something is there.
Ek minute, Kasturi, just a minute. Let Mr. Muralidharan speak.
See, the opposition has nothing to talk about because Vijay is giving such beautiful governance where he is eradicating corruption. Day by day, the state is seeing tremendous progress. And people are shocked that they are getting replies from government offices. Now, the opposition is harping on this and jumping about only because they have no other issue to discuss. Second is Kasturi. After all these years, BJP has only 3.5% vote share. So they need to talk about something. Anything the minority does, they have a problem. A Christian or Muslim says something as a problem for BJP, they won't get sleep for the next 1 week. And after all, drama, they still have only 3.5%, and people have outright rejected BJP. So that answers. See, they have nothing to speak against the government. They're going and trying to pick points here and there. Mr. JCD Prabhakar goes to, as she said, if somebody comes and propagates that we should not eat meat, only vegetarian, we will laugh at them and walk away because Tamil Nadu, 80% of the people eat meat. So people only laugh and go. You should know where to ignore. The percentage of Christians in Tamil Nadu is like 10 to 12%. If out of that, this Catholic Church is probably 1 or 2%. If they're coming and doing a propaganda, they're doing a rally, people will laugh about it.
Mr.
Only after the
Muralidharan,
BJP's outrage.
I understand that.
News.
I understand that. But if the speaker, a man who holds a constitutional position, goes and endorses something that that is not constitutional, then what do you say? Then should there be outrage or should there not be outrage? I'm not saying arrest the man. I'm not saying arrest the man, he's committed a crime. I will not go that far. But what he did was something he shouldn't have done in his personal capacity. As I said, faith is personal. Yes, the Catholics believe that abortion is a grave moral evil, but that is their private belief. And private belief cannot trump law of the land, no?
Correct. Now, there are two things. Now, from Andhra, I think Kasturi hails from Andhra. The Chandrababu Naidu government is saying, they're giving incentives for having more babies. Now, if you relate that with this, if this is the same thing they're saying. He is saying in a different tone, saying that, the population ratio is going down. The procreation ratio is going down. In Europe and all, they have a serious crisis. The ratio has gone down below, I think, 1:1 or whatever. Here in India also it's happening. So
come on.
People are propagating that one. Okay, that's the most important thing is like they're doing it already.
Encouraging people to have more babies is very different from saying abortion is murder. The difference is choice.
Nothing. I don't think so. I don't think
the difference is choice. CHOICE.
That's choice. Let's not make it crude. But there are people also propagating saying that have more babies. So this could be a solution for your population crisis you have today. So why not look at it in a positive angle? Or just if you don't like it, just ignore and move away. Or why do you want to take you for task and what are you going to achieve by this? By removing from the speaker post, he will be out of the post and somebody else is going to take it. That's not going to topple the government.
Bindu Dubey, would you want to come in here?
Yeah, of course. I'm just listening to this enriching discussion and I also wanted to step in. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. So as a private citizen, he is having all the right to say whatever he wants to say. He has all the right to express his beliefs. But here the difference is that the person is holding a constitutional position, constitutional post. And being in that capacity, he cannot make such sorts of statements which are already defined by the law already. So it is about a bodily autonomy of a woman and about her right, her choice. So definitely his views should not step into that arena of personal choice. So my concern is definitely not his faith or what he said. The concern is where he said it. And concern is his constitutional position as well. So my concern is also the message which is being conveyed by a constitutional office holder. So this doesn't suit him at all. Being in that capacity, he cannot say anything like that. And the constitution is there to protect reproductive autonomy. So when something is already protected by the law for women, definitely a person who is holding such a high position, big position, is not expected to make such comments. Definitely.
Okay. Okay. I think your political stand is clear. Kasturi, you wanted to come in and respond to what Mr. Muralidharan is saying?
Who was the person who just spoke about the opposition not having anything to attack Vijay with, and then said some nonsense about take it in a positive light and you don't have to have this as part of the actual cut? But I'm asking, who was that who was speaking about it? Saying, you know, Chandrababu Naidu is saying the same thing. Who was that?
Mr. Muralidharan is smiling.
Was it him?
Yes.
Was it Mr. Muralidharan who came
Of
up
course
with
it was
that,
Mr. Muralidharan.
Absolute hogwash?
You should read newspapers. We have a crisis world over. The population ratio is
Now I
going
will
down.
start my... No, that is going to get edited, sir. That is going to get edited. I didn't know who was speaking.
No.
Okay, now I will rebut.
Nothing will get edited on this show. It will go as is.
I just heard Mr. Muralidharan. I see. Okay, that's why. That's fair. I didn't know it was Mr. Muralidharan who had actually descended to such absurd, illogical arguments in his single-pointed hatred of the BJP. He is completely forgetting about, I think, the women in even his family, sir. Just shut up.
Mr.
Okay,
Muralidharan,
please,
let Kasturi speak.
I
I'll
was
come
sitting
to
here
you.
listening to your drivel. It is bad enough that I had to listen to it. Yeah. Okay. You know, he said Mr. Chandrababu Naidu has offered incentives for having children. This is the same thing. Hello, if you didn't know the difference between being compulsorily made into a handmaid. Have you read the book Handmaid's Tale? If you're forced to have babies versus if you're incentivized to have babies, if you don't know the difference between the two, then why am I even surprised? Why am I even surprised? I mean, I cannot believe somebody is so tone deaf that he doesn't know. You know, that's the whole point. That's why it's called pro-choice. Women fight for pro-choice. I don't know too many people in India, especially in India, in Tamil Nadu, who will actually say, yeah, I want to be a baby-bearing machine with zero rights and zero choice in the matter. I don't think Mr. Muralidharan wants it for his daughters. And sir, I'm not from Andhra. I don't care what you think, where I am from. I would be proud if I was from Andhra. But don't you dare use the word Andhra in vain. Don't you dare do that. Okay? Don't you dare use that as a weapon for denigrating another state. Okay? I heard what you said. And to say that, you know, this is the only weapon the opposition has against TVK, I will have you know that Mr. Vijay and the TVK actually love me because I have been very sympathetic towards them. I am known for my very appreciative stance over his government initiatives. But metric kannai tirandalum kutram kutrame. When a constitutional authority, if you have the governor of Tamil Nadu take part in a vegetarian congress and say, yeah, or if you have the governor of Tamil Nadu take part in a pro-choice movement, what would Mr. Muralidharan say? He'll say, why is that guy even there? What's his business? Why is he giving his opinion? He should be the governor. If the governor took part in so much as a consecration ceremony of a temple, these people are quick to jump in and say, why is he taking part in a temple ceremony? He should be beyond all religion. No. It is a public ceremony. Everybody is invited. Okay. Including the governor.
Mr. Muralidharan, I'll give you time to respond, after which I'm going to come to Mr. Pulla Rao. Go ahead, please. Kasturi, you've had your say. Let Mr. Muralidharan come in. Mr. Muralidharan, essentially the charge is double standards and the fact that what the speaker has done is communal.
No, I'll tell you, see, this is something you should have ignored and moved ahead, but it does not let you move ahead because it's simply a minority thing. Okay, and we know BJP loses its leads over minorities all across India, except for few states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala, where It's extremely secular, and the minority also has equal rights as the majority. And we as Hindu, we are 80% in the state. We are not,
But
we
you
don't
have
we don't
rights
live
to
in
tell the
fear.
majority what to
We
do.
don't, no, we don't live in fear of minority taking over Tamil Nadu. Okay, we are all brothers and we respect that. And if this man has gone, even if he has said that, start eating beef from tomorrow, or he said, you should have, multiple marriages, we will just ignore it because that's his personal choice and he's uttering on his personal capacity. As a constitutional authority, if he goes to the assembly and he propagates this, then we will definitely, oppose that. Otherwise, it should be
This was
very
a
small
public
thing.
rally. This was not a church
So
event.
what? It's a public, yeah.
It was a
What is the
public
percentage of
protest.
people?
It
There
was
are
a
20
public protest.
Exactly. We also have celebrities going and joining LGBT community and doing all kind of nonsense. We have seen it on screen.
Huh.
But that is also against the law. The LGBT community, the marriage is still not legalized
yeah.
in India.
Yeah.
Okay, LGBT
No.
marriages
One minute.
are
One minute.
legalized
One
in India.
minute. LGBT
But
rights
they
is
are
not
celebrities
nonsense. The law of this land has given them the right to have a relationship without that relationship being criminalized. Yes, there are no marriage
But they're not
rights.
supposed to get married.
Yeah,
But
there are
they
no
have
marriage rights.
So you know that.
But having a relationship
celebrities are
cannot
doing
be
endorsing.
criminalized anymore, and that is not
They're not-
nonsense.
Exactly.
That is the law of this land.
Exactly. But
And the law of this land also is that abortion is legal in this country. In fact, in 1971, when India got in its abortion law, it was looked as a very pragmatic health intervention. There was no public outrage. There was no moralizing. There was no religious outrage back then, except maybe people like Mother Teresa saying this is against Catholicism, etc.
Now, let's take LGBT itself. There is no legalization of their marriages. Do you agree?
Of course.
Do you agree with that?
Of course.
Yeah, okay. You agree. But there are celebrities going and endorsing them, all kind of things happening across. So you should know how to ignore things. That's
Okay.
their personal wish. They want to get married. They want that constitutional right. Let them fight for it. Similarly, this man is propagating something which his community thinks that will become a law one day.
But
So let
celebrate,
it be.
these
Why
are not
should we get
elected
involved?
representatives. They do not take
what?
oath on the constitution like the speaker
There
has
are-
taken.
No, there are many
For
people.
the speaker to take oath of the constitution and then go against the constitution, I'm not
No,
sure how
it's
you're
not
okay with it
against
and you're
it.
saying
As
please
far
ignore
as-
it. But Mr. Pullarao, you're a political analyst from the state. Mr. Muralidharan is saying ignore it. He has a religious view. He has propagated that, but ignore it.
I do have a little common with Mr. Prabhakar, Udayanidhi and Vijay. I'm their senior at Loyola College, so I have something to do. But one thing is, I agree with what Mr. Muralidharan said. I've seen him many times. I won't deride his words as drivel and all that. He speaks and he has a right to speak. Having said that, I don't think the speaker should say these things because the speaker is in a very sanctified position. The chief minister may be dismissed, the chief minister may resign, but the speaker continues. The speaker is the spirit of the house, which he very well knows, Mr. Muralidharan. And the speaker does have that position. What he says in his private capacity should not be done on a public arena. And perhaps, no, he was an MLA earlier and all that, so I don't say he's a novice. I don't know why he did it, because it's not appropriate for a speaker. Speaker has to be very guarded with his words. The constitution is very clear. And the speaker's job, the entire parliament, our constitution is halfway from Britain, as you very well know, Shreya. And the speaker there is once a speaker, for life a speaker. That is the position they give a speaker. No election against him. He is unanimously elected every time. He's not supposed to talk outside. He's not supposed to say anything outside. That is the position of Speaker of the House of Commons. And exactly word to word, literally we have the same articles here defining the Speaker. So I believe that he should get better counsel. In a humble way, I say, because he does occupy a very big position, that he should be cautious. Whether it's a good view or a bad view is not a Christian.
Okay.
I would be, it's a very careful thing. And also, Gorakshan is mentioned in the directive principles of the Constitution. That also I have to say, it is there, just as an aside. So I do hope that somebody doesn't take this up legally to test the limits of the speaker's position.
Okay. Mr. Muralidharan, my final question is to you. Given the fact that Chief Minister Vijay got the overwhelming support and vote of women in the state of Tamil Nadu, should he not be stepping out and saying, guys, this is not what I believe in. I'm a Christian, but this is not my view. I believe that women in Tamil Nadu and the rest of the country, under the law of this country, have every right to decide what they want to do with the fetus. They have that bodily autonomy. I support it. Should he not be stepping out and giving a clarification?
Yeah, he's not a person who comments on every issue. He is normally silent, 99%, unless it's extremely important. In this issue, what we need to consider is it's a constitutional authority, constitutional position, all right. But everybody has a personal life. You know, after my office hours, what I do in my free hours, it's none of their business. Even in a corporate life, you go and tell Mr. CEO, let's take Sridhar Vembu, okay, who's like, he's a philanthropist also. And a gentleman like him, he does so many, corporate activities. After office hours, he might go and attend an RSS meeting. So you can't just label him as, like anti-minority. That's what we are trying to do here. Same analogy here. That's what exactly we are trying to do. Just because Mr. JCD Prabhakar, in his personal time, did something, you're trying to relate it. It's constitutional position, all right. As far as it does not mix with his ideologies, it's okay. He doesn't profess this inside the assembly, it's okay. Because everybody has a piece of personal life. Let's give them that respect and let's learn to ignore. Such minor issues should not become a national debate. That's my point. Thank you, Shreya.
Kasturi, I will give you the last word on that. Such minor issues should not become a national debate. Is this a minor issue? Are we making, as they say in Hindi, baat ka batangad?
I'm reminded of another statement. Another statesman once said about, the Nirbhaya rape. Boys will be boys. So the dismissive attitude with which Muralidharan just spoke of pro-choice and a woman's body as minor issues, I don't even wish my enemies the kind of minor issues will be, that he is talking about. I don't even want my enemies to face those issues. That's how minor they are in my head. He talked about, everybody has their personal space. Sure, if everybody has their personal space, then you can be a closet criminal in your free time. That is what Mr. Muralidharan is saying. Okay, let us come to religious beliefs. If it was in a church meeting and it was being talked to, it was being spoken inside a congregation, towards a congregation of Catholics, Mr. Muralidharan is not half as Catholic as I am. I spent 14 years in a convent and my brother is a Roman Catholic. And nobody is going to sit there and ignore such insensitive words, especially in a public event from a constitutional authority. This is the Speaker of the Tamil Nadu Assembly and an MLA that the public voted for. Every religion, every persuasion voted for him. So he has no business supporting a rally which actually tells the people of the state that they're doing something wrong by exercising their body autonomy, by exercising better judgment, by exercising family control, for God's sake. Just one more second. He said we are anti-minority if we say anything about this and we don't ignore it. Hello, we are women and that is anti-women. To tell women what to do with our bodies is anti-women. And I don't care if it is minority or majority. You cannot go telling women what to do with their lives. You have to ruin your own life. If you're a rape survivor, you should still not murder your unborn fetus. What? That doesn't even make sense. Stop twisting this into a religious issue against Mr. JCD Prabhakar. It's his religious belief that made him go to that rally and he shouldn't have done that.
Okay, we'll leave it there. I think we've heard all points of view as we try and do on this show, and our viewers out there listening are smart enough to make up their own minds and decide whether the speaker was right or wrong. We'll leave it there for the moment. Mr. Muralidharan, thank you very much. Kasturi Shankar, thank you. Mr. Pullarao, good to have you. And Bindu Dubey, thank you for your time. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a quick break. News and updates continue right here. Do stay with us.